morning. Good morning to all of you. I pray that you've had a great weekend. I've certainly had a pretty decent weekend so far. We're going to get started in just a minute. Give some people time to log on. I know there's probably a lot of people trying to get ready for the Super Bowl. Who y'all got in the Super Bowl? Let me see it in the comments. Who you believe can win the Super Bowl? While we're waiting for other people to log in, can you go ahead and hit like? And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't turned your notifications on, go ahead and turn your notifications on. I see Chandrika says she has the Eagles winning. Good morning, Shamika. I think I'm pulling for the Chiefs. I like to see Patrick Mahomes do his thing today. It's going to be interesting. Have you ever noticed that your coffee is the best whenever you don't have enough time to finish it? Never fails. Also, have you guys noticed, or did you guys pay attention this week when the U.S. found another floating object floating over our airspace? I don't know what's happening, but something's about to get ready to go down, y'all. We just got to be ready. Good morning, my favorite daughter-in-law, Chris. Chris, who you pulling for in the Super Bowl, sweetheart? Oh, Tay says she pulling for the Eagles too. The Eagles winning so far. Now, what we gonna do about that? Let me find out y'all on BetMGM. Getting y'all bets in today. So we'll give it just a couple more minutes. I'm gonna give a few more people time to log in. Not sure where everybody is this morning. Someone else just joined us, I see. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning. Also, I want to encourage you guys to turn your notifications on. Good morning. Gwen said the Saints. Oh, Chris, I see you. Yeah, go ahead and turn your notifications on so that if you don't get your text message, you'll still know when we go live if you haven't done that already. And while you're here, while we're giving it a few more minutes, if you can go ahead and hit like, we'll be getting started in just a couple minutes. I hope you guys are enjoying this beautiful Sunday morning. It feels great outside. I'm going to tap into some real good stuff this morning. What's up, fam? Larry said it's raining on the East Coast. I bet it's cold, too. pulling for in the Super Bowl, man? Because I'm holding everybody accountable next Sunday morning. Larry said his bets. I know that's right. Anybody can get it. I'm gonna give it about another minute, you guys, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Those of you who just joined us, good morning. Good morning. Pray you've had a great weekend so far. I think today I'm having a Super Bowl party of one because I'm going for both teams and I don't want to offend nobody. Okay, as we're counting down this last few seconds, if you guys haven't already hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button on this video. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so that you'll be able to be notified whenever we go live, just in case I don't get a chance to send out a text message. All right, so let's get started this morning. This morning, I kind of switched up exactly what I was going to share with you guys or discuss with you guys because of some conversations that I've had and some calls that I received this morning. This morning, I received some calls of some things that's going on, and it's for the individuals involved. It's just a lot because they've had a lot going on for a minute now, and it's just a lot of it's a mixture of big things and little tedious things, but they all are trickling in nonstop, almost like a flow of water. All right, Pastor Ransom says she already know who's gonna win. Kansas City. All right, let's go Chiefs. So it's a combination of things that's trickling into people's lives, and you guys may be seeing this right now. It's not just one thing; it's a combination of things, and the way that the drip is flowing, the consistency of the drip can be somewhat overwhelming, and so it is creating a frustrated experience. And so I want to help you guys to be able to work through some of the frustration that you may be experiencing in this time from the beginning of this year to now. Some of you have probably carried over from the end of last year. And it could possibly be for some of you guys, it could be have been going on for, a couple years consistently now. But we want to talk about that. I want to help you guys to be able to navigate through that and show you where you can really have influence in the way that you experience these things. So the first thing I want to share with you guys, and some of you probably already know this, but our mind, the human psyche is made up of basically three prisms, okay? And the first one is belief, the second is emotion, and the third is action, okay? Your beliefs are definitions. That's all your beliefs are. Whenever you say you believe a certain thing, it's because you have a definition and you agree with the definition of what that thing means. And so that becomes something that you believe. We only believe things that have been defined, right? And then the second part of that prism of the human psyche is emotions, right? These are thoughts. Your emotions are as a result of your thoughts. Your emotions come to the emotions that manifest are the emotions that best support the thoughts that you're entertaining. So when you're entertaining certain thoughts, there are certain emotions, the best supporting emotions are going to come. And so that's where you have feelings about certain things. So you feel a way because of the thoughts that you think, and the feelings that you get from those thoughts are based upon your beliefs or how you've defined those things. Lastly, again, I said it's your actions. It's what you do. It's what you actually engage in. And remember, I told you guys earlier this year at the top of the year that we're going to be intentional in everything that we discuss this year, because that's the only way we're going to be able to have the precise results that we want out of this year. So, okay, so you have your beliefs, and your beliefs are based upon your definitions, right? It has to be defined. And I'll give you an example. If I was to use a word right now that you didn't know what it meant, if I used the word, for example, if I just used the word quixoticness, and you don't know what quixoticness means, you don't know how to feel about that word. But if I use a word like horrible, you have a definition for the word horrible. So you will have a feeling about what I said because you have defined that word. That word has meaning to you. And based upon that, you believe that what I'm explaining and describing as horrible is actually horrible according to the definition that you have. But again, referring to the first word, quixoticness, if you have no idea what that word means, when I say the quixoticness, or if I use quixoticness, any type of quixoticness, if I say sexual quixoticness, you will have no idea what that means, and so you wouldn't feel a type of way about it at all if you don't know the definition. But if you do know the definition, you'll have feelings about what I said because your thoughts will be triggered based upon the definition of the word that you have. In life, it is the same thing because life is meaningless. Life itself is meaningless. Life is full of props. We give meaning to life. You have whenever you're born into this world, none of this stuff meant anything to you. But we begin to give meaning to life, and the meaning that we give to life is based upon what we believe. Come on, I need you to be with me this morning because I'm talking to you specifically. I ain't talking to everybody, I'm talking to you. When you have certain beliefs, or whenever you come into life and you begin to make meaning of things, you begin to give meaning, of things, you're giving meaning based upon belief. And your beliefs, of course, is based upon your definition. The problem that we run into with this is that many of our beliefs are not actually our own beliefs. Many of our definitions are actually not our own definitions. So, whenever you believe a thing, you will experience that thing in the way that you believe it, or you will experience it according to what you believe about it. And whenever the majority of your beliefs have come from something or someone else, maybe your mom, dad, an associate, it could come even from the society, the culture that we're living in right now. Your beliefs, your beliefs about that is going to determine how you experience that particular occasion in life, right? And when you are in certain situations in life that you find to be challenging, if you say, like, I have people say all the time, Dr. Sim, you just don't know. I try. It's just so hard. And my thoughts are it's hard because you believe that it is. That is how you define what it is you're up against. You defined it as being a hard thing. And so, as long as you are engaging in it, it's going to be hard because that's how you have defined it. And so you believe that it's going to be hard. And so that's what you're going to experience out of it. Remember, Matthew chapter 11. I want to read that actually in the text because we have these things, these experiences, and we wonder why, and we don't realize that we could actually influence some of what we experience. So Matthew 11:25, it says, and no, I'm sorry, 24, it says, therefore I say unto you, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, believe, there's that belief. Believe that you receive them and you shall have them. In other words, you're going to experience what it is that you pray for based upon how you define or what you believe about what you just prayed. And that's not only relevant for prayer, that's also relevant for your day to day life. So if you believe a thing is going to be hard, if you believe a thing is going to be frustrating, if you believe a thing is going to be aggravating, that's the experience you're going to have because you've already defined it as that. And there are rare occasions when you can believe one thing about something and have another experience. But for the majority of our experiences, they are according to how we believe them. We all have that somebody that we just don't like to deal with because there's always something. And whenever we are honest with ourselves about the fact that we go into the experience with these certain individuals with a belief that is already going to be a negative experience, 9 times out of 10 is negative, and we're responsible for it because that's the definition that we put up on it. That's what we've believed about it already. And whenever you're doing this, you are creating or you're setting the tone or creating the atmosphere and environment for the experience. So I'm saying that to say to you guys, whenever you're running into challenges, whether it's relationally, financially, economically, or socially, when you're running into challenges, make sure that you are checking your beliefs about it because you may be experiencing the way that you're experiencing it based upon the way that you have defined it, you know? And so when you're having these challenges, ask yourself, why do I believe that this has to be hard? Why do I believe this is not a good thing? Why do I believe that this is aggravating? Why do I believe that this is near death? Sometimes we can have experiences, man, and it could be like going in, man, I'm gonna have to do this. I know it's gonna kill me, but I got to do it. And once you start engaging it, guess what happens? It almost kills you. Good morning, Rashonda. It almost kills you because you've already defined it as such. Going into it, you said, this, I don't want to do this. And you have all of these reservations, and you're like, man, I guess I better go ahead and make myself go and do this. I really don't want to do it. I hate doing this. And so that's going to be your experience doing it. And now, granted, some of these things you subconsciously take up on these views and these ideas and these approaches. You do it subconsciously, but that's only based upon definitions that you have. And again, the majority of our definitions are given to us by someone or something else. It's not our own definition. Remember, I just said a few minutes ago, life is meaningless whenever you arrive here from the womb. You come into this world and it means nothing. None of this stuff means nothing to a baby. A newborn baby, none of this stuff means anything to them. They don't care about what kind of car you drive, what kind of car seat they sit in, what type of television you got, the furniture. They don't care nothing about none of it. Babies don't even really care about all the cute little clothes that you buy them, and that's proof because they'll crap all over them. But when you become aware of this and you understand better that we give meaning to life, every life experience have been given meaning. by the experiencer, and that's you. You are the one who is experiencing life, and you are the one that is giving the meaning to life. And when you are holding on to definitions and beliefs about certain experiences based upon what someone else has given you, you could be carrying someone else's approach to that situation that doesn't even belong to you. Case in point, there's some people that just love to work out, and they get an adrenaline rush every time it's time to go to the gym. They love to do it. But then there are other people that doesn't really care. They don't really care to go to the gym. They know they need to. They go because they have to. But that's not their thing. That's not their thing. And so when they go to the gym, it's just this, oh, whenever they get out, they're so tired. The next day they're so sore. They drain, they sleepy, they can't do nothing else. I mean, the kids got to feed themselves. The husband, the wife, the girlfriend, boyfriend have to catch you on another day because you're just out of it. Why? Because you went to the gym and you don't like going to the gym, and you knew you were going to be worn out whenever you got to the gym. What's up, Sean? I see you, man. And so when you have already given that definition to your experience in the gym, that's what you're going to have. That is the same thing throughout all of your life. And so some of the things that you experience in life, the way that you are experiencing them, if you don't like the way that you're experiencing a thing, whether it's something that is challenging, something that's disheartening, something that's heartbreaking, whatever it is that you're experiencing, if you don't like the way that you are experiencing that thing, I want to challenge you to ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, what do I have to do, or what do I have to believe in order to change this experience that I'm having here? What do I have to believe to change this experience for the better, to make this a much better experience? What do I have to believe about this? And so that's when you get principles from the scripture, like, and we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God, who are the called according to his purpose. You can be going through hell, and once you make it to church Sunday morning and you hear the preacher say that, now you've redefined the way you're looking at your experience, and then you're ready to slap your neighbor high five and tell them all things working together. It's all working for my good. It's all working for my good. It's all working for my good. And there you have it. You've changed the way that you believed about what you're experiencing, and that gives you a little bit more push to go into the next day with a little bit more strength, and ultimately to overcome or come out of whatever it is that you're experiencing. But it's all about the way that you define it. And whenever you define certain things, certain processes and experiences in life as going through hell, that's what you're going to experience in that process. That's what you're going to experience. I know I got to do this thing, but I know I'm going to have to go through hell in order to get this accomplished. No, you don't have to. But if that's what you believe the experience is going to be, if that's what you've defined and you have attached to that, those attachments, those attachments are very, very powerful and influential in the way that you experience life, regardless of what it is. Do you know that? Well, I'm sure that you know that the majority of the parents with little kids, especially when they between 2 and 5, and don't have more than one. And when you come home, you already know the kids is gonna get on your nerves, calling your name 500 times in an hour. You already know this, and that's what you've defined it to be. You've already defined your experience being home as that it will be such, and so that's what you're gonna experience. But if you change that belief, and many times we get that we are handed those beliefs from other people. I'm going to keep saying it because we are handing we're handing those we're handed those beliefs from other people. Parents get together and talk about how hard it is raising children, or how hard it is with a little baby or a toddler, and all this stuff. And so you embrace that belief, and so your experience become that. But then there are some people that they get a joy out of it, and they're having a totally different experience. Have you ever seen somebody with like 5 kids and they just happy all the time? They making doing picnics in the backyard. Sometimes they do a picnic in the middle of the living room floor. And they have all these projects. They have the kids painting. My grandson was painting last night. He called me. Man, when my kids was little, it ain't no way I was gonna trust them with paint around my furniture and all that stuff. But some people have the ability to make the most, and they get a different experience in doing things like that because they have not defined it the way that we you have defined it, and they don't believe it to be the same thing that you believe it to be. If you believe it to be a thing, that's what you're gonna get out of it. It's one of the laws of the universe. What you put out is what you get back. And if you put it out there that this is gonna be one of the worst experiences, that's what you're gonna get out of it. There is no way around that. And you can look for a life coach, you can look for a pastor, you can look for a therapist, you can look for a psychologist, a psychiatrist, you can look wherever you want, but no one's going to be able to fix or change that but you, based upon the way that you believe or the way that you have defined the experience to be. You can change your experience by redefining what you believe it to be. If you redefine an experience and say this is just a part of a bigger picture that I'm putting together here, then you're able to do that part with a little bit more ease because you understand that that part is necessary. But if you go into a situation saying I don't even know why I got to do this, you're not going to get anything out of it, and you're going to be baffled and confused all the way through the experience, and you're going to look back at the experience and will have gotten nothing when the experience itself could be full of jewels, and you will walk over them and not even have the experience that you could have. Why? Because you have defined, or you believed that there was no sense in what you were experiencing. Even in your relationships, whether it's a romantic relationship or a cordial relationship, professional relationship, if you have no definition for what you are experiencing in the relationship, you won't get anything out of it. And so your beliefs, what you believe about it, is actually what your experience in it will be. And it sounds like I'm being redundant and keep repeating the same principles. And I am somewhat, because as human beings, we don't hear what you say, we hear what you keep saying. And so there's a law in marketing as it relates to branding, is like usually people have to see a thing 30 times before it's embedded in their mind, and they can associate it with symbols, sounds, and images. And so if you see it 30 times, then you'll be able to recognize what it is. That's the law of marketing. And so I'm saying what I'm saying over and over because I want you to get it, so that whenever you hang up this phone and you walk into your closet that you're about to get ready to start rearranging for the springtime, when you walk into that closet, you won't walk into that closet saying, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Change the way that you believe about it. Change what the experience will be. You may want to go in your closet this year, well, in preparation for the spring and summer. Go into your closet and look at how blessed you are. All the things that you have, all the things you've been able to accumulate, in contrast to a time where you were not able to have things. When it's time to go and do the dishes or whatever, cook, you know, when it's time to come home to your spouse, change the way you view it. Or when it's time to come home alone, how about that one? Change the way you're viewing it. You don't have to dread. We got Valentine's coming up in a couple days. You don't have to dread being single for Valentine's Day. Be glad that you ain't got to go through what your girlfriend is going through every time she talking and telling you about what's all wrong in her relationship. And then, fellas, y'all be glad you ain't got nobody nagging you when you're trying to watch the Super Bowl today. You can watch that thing and not have to worry about nobody. But it's all the way that you define it. It all depends on how you define it and what you believe about it. Because however you define it, that's going to be your belief. And the hardest thing to change about a person is what they believe. It's hard once you believe a thing, it's hard for anyone else to persuade you otherwise. But you have the upper hand on yourself to change the way you believe and what you believe. Because many of you here right now this morning, you don't believe the way that you used to believe, just say 5 or 10 years ago. Our beliefs change. And most of the time, our beliefs change not because we were convinced by someone else. It was because we convinced ourselves otherwise. We convinced ourselves otherwise, and so it changed the experience that we were having, or it changed the way we viewed certain experiences, or certain things, or even certain people. You can change it, but it's going to be based upon how you define it and what you believe about it. That power is yours. And I don't care if the car break down. I don't care if you I don't know if the lights are turned off. God forbid. Whatever it is, the way that you view it, the way that you view it is gonna determine how you experience and the impact that it'll have on you. Whether or not this will be a memory or a testimony, so to speak, that will inspire others, or whether or not you're going to walk away from the experience with PTSD. There's some people that don't even know how to transition from relationship to relationship. If you fall out with everybody that you had a relationship with when it's time to move on, then you need to redefine how it is that you move on. You feel me? So, keeping that in mind, moving forward this week, I want you guys to go ahead and begin to look at what you believe, redefine what you believe, so that your beliefs can change. Because your thoughts are primarily based upon what you believe, and you're going to have those emotions, and that's what's going to determine the action that you take. Remember, the mind or the psyche is made up of basically three prisms, and that is beliefs, emotions, and actions. But it all starts with your beliefs. Your beliefs are the way that you define a thing. Look, I hope I helped you out with something this morning, and empowered you and giving you tools to be able to troubleshoot some things and take a more pleasant approach to some of the things that life will throw at us, because you do have the power to give meaning to every experience that you have here in life. Life is full of props, and you determine exactly how you're going to experience life. I want you guys to have a great Sunday evening and be prepared for Monday morning. Enjoy whatever you're doing this evening. Enjoy it, whether you're watching the Super Bowl, hanging out with family and friends, or just chilling, getting some quality alone time in. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it. Be prepared for next week, so that next week will be like one of the best weeks you've had so far this year. And I will see you guys next Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget to hit like really quick before you get off here. If this bless you, hit the like button, please. and also subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to turn your notifications on just in case I don't get a chance to send you out a text message. You turn your notifications on, you'll always be notified whenever I go live. So, again, enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to go and make your donation. I'm asking every one of you to please go and make a donation today. And if you need me before next Sunday morning, you know how to hit me up. Whether you do a DM on social media or you text my phone directly, hit me up and I'll get back with you. I love you all. Thank you so much for your time, and I bid you all blessings and Godspeed. And I will see you on next Sunday morning. Let's go Chiefs. Let's go Eagles.